Hello class, this is Professor Tweed here, and I'm going to start a series of videos that I sort of did after I sort of finished this series originally, and I want to look at trees. And in the series of videos I did what you see on screen here, where they just downloaded a tree from Google and placed the image in, which is quick and easy for sure, and a lot of people do it. That's a primary way they do it in Illustrator and in Photoshop, and I've never been a huge fan of it. Especially like in perspectives in Photoshop, they put transparencies on to show the architecture behind, and it just never really sort of works well, and or sort of looks overly real compared to maybe what else is going on, and so stylistically it can get hard to match. So I spent years really experimenting with different kinds of trees and how to make them work in Illustrator. And I'm ultimately going to show you one that I use a lot that's complicated. It's going to take a lot of videos to show, but this one I'm just going to show other ideas of things I've done with trees in the past. Now I just want to mention really quick, doesn't really matter probably to you guys, but the reason why this isn't in the original series is because I sort of had all these trees and some other things sort of trapped in CC Creative Cloud, but when I got to this institution we were still on CS6 and they didn't operate correctly. I didn't have the time in the original series to go and reformulate all that stuff, but now we upgraded to CC, so it's easier for me to sort of get these videos rolling, and I think they are sort of interesting. I might also do similar things with some other things in this drawing. I might just add other options along the way, that just because I have easier access to past work I've done, and it might be worth sharing. But this one's about trees, and this video is just about ideas. So these are the trees that I had before, just cut from here. I just want to show you some other ones that I have done over the years. They don't necessarily match with the rendering style that I have here selected or anything like that, but just to give ideas that trees can really be anything. I mean, if you look at hand-drawn trees from architects of the past, they can look 1,000 ways. Some of them really abstract, yet they look like beautiful trees for the drawing. So here's sort of almost like a colored pencil-y one that definitely doesn't match the sky color or anything like that, but it's using all the tools that you see throughout the video in other ways. So if you're interested, you know, go ahead and sort of find it. I think it sort of can work well if you're really going for a sketchy format look. So there's those trees. Then I did a set of trees once that sort of emulate a marker look. I actually haven't made a marker presentation yet for this video series, but maybe I'll swing by and do that. So if you're hearing this out of order, that might already be present, or if you're hearing in the future. Again, it's not working for the sky. The sky could be done well in marker, but maybe that sort of needs to be consolidated. But again, this is all using the appearance box and taking an object, which is like the tree, the top in both of these is just one object with a bunch of things applied to that object in multiple fills and multiple effects and things like that. And so those, once you know the tools, you can sort of experiment yourself and get lots of different kinds of trees. The last trees I'm going to show you are this one. This is the one that the video series is going to be about, and it takes a long time to do. And I love this tree. It's pretty complex, but it works great in almost any kind of drawing. It has an almost realistic look. It definitely looks like a tree. That's sort of the effect that's going here, but it is abstract enough to work with drawings like this. Also, you'll see it works great. Well, I won't show you in this video series probably because I'm going to focus on Illustrator, but maybe if you look, if I make Photoshop perspective someday, it might work pretty well. I've used it in perspectives because what happens was those when you pull from Google a tree, you can't see the architecture behind it, so you use transparencies. I think that just makes it uglier. This tree is so flexible enough that it can be used to really show a tree without transparency and really show the architecture behind it. And you'll see that as I go through the videos. I might talk about it, although again I'll have to do Photoshop videos to really show that, but at some point in the future. But again, this is really all the same tree, and I can apply sizes and randomness and the color. That's all happening sort of semi-automatically or really quick. Once you set up the tree once, it's so flexible, it can be used in so many sort of situations. So, so this is a tree we'll be following up with in a series of videos, and I'll continue that in another set.